Hey there. Good morning, or actually I almost said good morning. Good afternoon. I kind of wanted to end the day with a live stream about technical issues. Actually, I'm looking at the wrong. Here, let me turn this around. There we go. It didn't follow me, did it? Hi, Taylor. You know what? I think this is fine now. I'm trying to get it. Are you back? I'm back. Okay. So today I wanted to, I'm having the same problem I had this morning, Taylor. Okay. All better. Okay, it is Tech Tuesday, and I think that I'm going to start addressing more technical problems. I'm looking in the wrong place there. Technical problems or technical phobias that people have that tend to prevent them. Get everything out of my way here. That tends to prevent them from just moving forward in their business. And I'm having, not really I guess it looks like technical issues, don't I? I'm trying to get things situated here so that my camera holds still. Okay, so some of the typical, we'll say common, some of the common technical problems actually start with our belief of thinking that we can handle technical issues, right? And sometimes technical issues, so it's kind of like the unknown, right? So I've had people tell me, I'm gonna set a timer because I want to do about 20 minutes. I have had people tell me, okay, good, that they can't start an online business because they're not techie like me, pointing at me, telling me that I'm techie. I actually had someone tell me that they were into astrology and tell me that Aquarians are just naturally techie and science-based or something like that. And so it just comes natural. And I'm here to tell you, I don't think so. Because I really struggled in the beginning with technical, but I really I learned right away three main things. Okay, that's what I'm going to tell you about. There are three main things that you need to know in terms of what it is that you should be doing, okay? And the objective of getting more clients, I won't get into marketing necessarily, but I'm going to tell you about some main functions. And so the one most important thing is for you to get an email autoresponder set up. I don't care if people are saying email doesn't work anymore. You know what? For those that are saying email doesn't work anymore, yes, it's changed. But email does work because people are still opening my emails. In fact, I had 14 people subscribed yesterday. I was just in there looking around. So people are still using email, and that is good, okay? And then there's text marketing. But I'm going to tell you three main things that you need to do with your online business, and that is to capture leads. So I have an ebook that is a really good example of what I'm talking about. It's a report. It's really just 1 or 2 pages. And in this report, you can actually go and get it at 10simpletools.com, 10simpletools.com. And what I did was created a really quick little ebook, and in that ebook I put 10 tools in it, listed 10 tools and how I use them and why you should be using them for online business, so that you can kind of fill in the gaps and see that it's really not that difficult. So again, getting back to the three main things, even though there are 10 tools on the 10simpletools.com ebook, okay, if you go there, you can sign up and you can get it via email. But there are three main things, and one is to have an email autoresponder ready for people to sign up with you, okay? So your main objective to get more clients is to attract them and build know, like, and trust, right? So if you really think about it, that's not really that difficult. You can go to aweber.com. You can go to Infusionsoft. Okay, they're more expensive. If you already have a large database, I would say start out with Infusionsoft so that you don't have to transfer and build a larger list and transfer, simply because Infusionsoft is, I mean, it's a much larger investment for you, but and it's more complicated. So if you do have tech phobia, I wouldn't start with Infusionsoft, but it does have, it does have a lot more features that will help you. So if you do have a large database, that's a good place to start, okay? But if you're just starting out, you've got a smaller list, or you're looking to start attracting more leads and more clients, use something like Aweber, okay? And there are a few others. I tend to use Aweber, and I have pretty much the whole time I've had a business online. So so that's number one, start. Build an email responder, start an email autoresponder, and then consider giving something away for free, like I just did, okay, at 10simpletools.com, and that's the number 10. Okay, think of yourself as giving some of your expertise away to build credibility, to build know, like, and trust with the person that is possibly interested in getting to know you, and start teaching them. Okay, so one of the most powerful ways to market is education-based marketing. Okay, so I won't get into that necessarily, but email marketing is really a great way to do that. Okay, and for those, like I said in the beginning, for those that say that, or they have heard, or they have this opinion that email marketing is not working, they possibly have never used it, okay? They haven't built a list, they didn't know how to use it possibly, or they've seen their open rates dramatically drop, and they're not using it the right way. So there are a lot of things that you can do to tweak it to get your open rates back up. But I'm here to tell you that it's working. A lot of marketing, I've always believed, I come from the real estate world too, and I've seen it there. In all industries, everything is cyclical. If you look at fashion, you see everything being cyclical. Bell bottoms go away and they come back, right? Straight leg jeans go away and they come back. And it's very similar to marketing. So if you want to stand out and do something different, I say sometimes obviously you got to do what's working, but also add in a few other pieces of marketing that, like snail mail, what they call snail mail now, and get something actually tangible in their hands, like I'm doing with freemoxiebook.com, okay? So, set up an autoresponder email service. If you haven't, or if you have done that and it's not working for you, it's because you need to become more personable. You need to be more of a giver. You need to reach out more often, okay? But, and so number 2 was to create an opt-in page, which I'm having my clients do. I always have my clients focus on an opt-in page so that people can opt in. It's one of the most important things that you can do. If you go to 10simpletools.com, you'll actually see what I'm referring to, and it's a really good place to start. Instead of revamping your website, instead of spending a lot of time on a website, okay, that can cost you thousands, not to mention, thousands of dollars of time, okay, here's what I say to do instead. Put up a lead page, go to leadpages.net. They've done some changes recently. I've used them for a few years. Just a minute and I'll read what you're writing here, Taylor. But I've used them for several years. They have changed the way their pages are built. I'm sure it's still easy. I would have to probably take 30 minutes to an hour to play around with it, but you can design the page. If you go to 10simpletools.com, that is an example of a template that's just one page, one static page that wants you to do one thing. You can create a sales page too. You can create a sales page, you can create an opt-in page. So that's number 2. Number 1 was email. Number 2, or set up an email autoresponder. Number 2 is an opt-in. And the third thing that you should really consider doing in regards to overcoming this fear of technology is to start doing the things that I just told you to do, and start using YouTube to fill in any, like when you get stuck, go to YouTube and start getting, I know this is, for some of you that are watching this probably sounds really basic, but it works. So it's gotten me through a lot of the technical frustrations. And so when I built my business, it was really a labor of love. It kind of will always be that way, but I'm just telling you that there are a lot more ways to market now online than there was when I started out, and things were technically more difficult about 7-8 years ago. Okay, so for instance, lead pages that I'm referring you to, it was harder to build a page. You really things were not as user friendly. Okay, so if you were just being introduced to tech, it was a lot harder. Things took me, for instance, hours longer. And a lot of times if you don't have the resources, right? If you don't know a VA, a virtual assistant to help you, if you don't know who to turn to, that can be confusing as well. So one of the main things that I can tell you to do there is to join a group that can support you through the frustrations and then lead you on the right path to take the right steps. And so what I just shared with you is highly valuable, okay? So set up an email autoresponder, a place where people can sign up and actually communicate with you, okay? So when I say communicate with you, think of it as a bridge between your prospect and you without them feeling like, they just signed up for free information from you, okay? So there shouldn't be any fear coming from them, right? And it's a way that feels safe, okay? Until you can prove that you're a giver of information and that you're not trying to be pushy or salesy, I think it's an excellent way. It's been an excellent way for online business for years, okay, for years. So if you go to 10simpletools.com, you'll get an ebook. It's very simple. It's just 2 pages long, and it's just the list of 10 things that I use. I'm trying to think I'm trying to remember, because I've used this opt-in page for quite a few years. It's been one of my more successful list building opt-in pages. And if we think about why that would be, I can't remember doing anything special, okay? But if you think about it, it's a report. It's not this long ebook, okay? People are becoming more and more conscious of where their time is spent. They want something quick. And so if you can give something of yours away that is in a step format, between 3 and 10 steps, or between 3 and 10 items that they need, they're going to be more likely to see it as fast and quick information, okay, that is highly valuable. So if we look at, high value, I want you to think about some of the most important things that you tell your clients, okay, when you're working with them one-on-one, and ask yourself, why is it that you are holding on to that information and not sharing it? Okay, because you could build an empire, you can build a list, you can build a huge list actually of warm leads, and then and create products and programs once you start to build the list. Okay, giving them something that you know that they want and need. Okay, so I hope that has helped. I don't know how long I've been, because for some reason my timer didn't go off or start, but my point is that we tend to, just a minute and I'll read what you wrote, Taylor, but we tend to think other people have some kind of a magic wand, don't we? We tend to think that people are more skilled in a certain area, and many times they are, but many times they really just dug in. They had the moxie, they had the grit to figure it out. And once they mastered a certain skill, once they mastered email marketing, once they mastered creating the offers, there are all these steps, but don't let the technical pieces stop you, because frankly, it is absolutely unbelievable what can be done online these days from your home, from your laptop, from your phone, from your iPad, okay? And like I just shared, there are 3 main things that you could do to start building a list of warm leads and getting people interested enough, engaged enough. If you think about, well, I was going to give you an analogy, but think about how many times you've opened up emails yourself. I always ask myself before I do something, before I'm introduced to a new way of doing things, I ask myself if it makes sense, if it's been proven, right, to work, and if I've done it myself. Like, okay, so when I signed up and started buying products and learning from other experts in certain areas via email. I knew it worked because I had spent the money myself and I'd done it myself. Okay, so it was a successful transaction. And it's a great way to learn, right? So why wouldn't I want to do that? So think to yourself, how many other emails have you been on? How many other experts have you learned from? And then ask yourself why you're not doing it. So whether you're in the financial services industry, you sell insurance, whether you are a dentist, a chiropractor, a midwife, you have an expertise. If you do hair and you've done hair for years, if you sold commercial real estate, maybe it's time that, and if you've been doing that for years and you've been successful, maybe it's time you put a program together and actually sell to other realtors that struggle, okay? Or use an opt-in page to attract investors. So then you've got to ask yourself, because you can create an opt-in page and actually create a program, or attract realtors that struggle and teach them what you know, okay? Teach them what you know, and then put them, once they know, like, and trust you, and begin to get traction or begin to find success in your free information, begin to communicate with that list using a survey. A simple survey. Ask them a few questions about specifically what worked for them, specifically where they struggle, specifically what they need to know or what they think they need to know. Get them on the phone. Use strategies. Some of these technical pieces are literally like magnets, pulling your ideal clients to you, okay? Another one is VCTA, and you'll actually, that's VCITA.com. And I use that as a little pop-up on my website, my WordPress website. I use it, it's just a calendar. And I use it to send people to. I actually buy domain names like crazy. I'm kind of a domain name freak. I actually just bought 10simpletools.com a while ago, just minutes ago. And then I redirect it. So I use VCTA as a calendar. I also use TimeTrade for my podcast. Okay, just to separate them. But VCTA, what I like about that is that it's not just a calendar, but it's also something you can put on a website so that it pops up and gets people's attention, okay? So it doesn't pop up to annoy them, it pops up to say, hey, as you're looking around, if you have any more questions, jump on my calendar. Because what you really want them to do is get face-to-face on a Skype call or just on a phone call, okay? That is almost always the fastest way to get a client, is to get on the phone with them, right? Face-to-face is one of the most powerful ways. And honestly, one of the slowest ways, and I'm almost surprised I'm going to say this, but it's kind of true, one of the slowest ways can be online, but only if you do a lot of the wrong things and keep doing the wrong things and not getting results and not track your results, you're going to see using technology to get clients as difficult, as a struggle, as it not working, right? Because you're not doing the right things. But it can be slow if you don't do the powerful things that I'm telling you to do. And some of those powerful things is that connection piece. So when people, you probably heard other gurus and experts say, connection is the currency, okay? What do they mean by that? Well, they mean exactly what I'm telling you to do. They mean to use technology to get in front of people. I'm using technology, I'm using video, right? Okay, so get in front of people, get the exposure, say the right things, give away some of your free information, and you're gonna start getting clients, okay? And creating an offer in your emails, there's an art to that. There's an art to that. There's an art to having a sales conversation on the phone. It's actually something I teach as well. I came up with a really quick little system, and I help people have, so that my clients that are experts can have a consultation, okay? Now, depending on if they're in the coaching world, the consulting world, that's one of the best ways you can do it. But it really depends on what you've been doing, me knowing what you've been doing and what's not working. But face-to-face, like I said, is really powerful, and it can be very fast, right? But start to build a list so that you have clients all over the world. Clients all over the world. I've worked with clients in Europe, and France and Ireland, that's still Europe, Australia, Canada. I do have people sign up that are not English. I'm not fluent in their language, so it doesn't work, right? But here's the thing: they can still learn from my free stuff. Okay, I've had clients that are bilingual, and it works fantastic. Skype actually is not something that I use anymore. I use Zoom. I use Zoom for conferencing, for classes. I use Zoom. I'm going to use Zoom tomorrow when I talk to a gal that I am considering. I saw her online. She actually bought my book, and I'm considering using her as a manager, a new manager. So here's the thing. It can be as slow as you want, the process, or it can be as fast as you want. So one of the most, in terms of technology, one of the fastest ways is what I'm doing right here. Okay, so I had a video, for instance, that I did the other day that has been seen almost 500 times, and it's just on my profile page, my Facebook profile page. And so I think it was last week. I can't even remember what the topic was off the top of my head, but I've had 14 signups within the last 7 days, probably because of the videos that I'm doing, okay? And it's interesting because I don't even have to tell people to sign up, and me sharing my 10simpletools.com, sending them there, that's an offer. An offer doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be selling something, but one of the things that I do is prepare my clients for that day of putting their product and program together, and then creating, I get them very familiar with the concept of putting the offer together, how you do it, what makes it irresistible, okay, on paper, what makes it on a PDF, what makes it irresistible when you speak it, and exactly how you package it, and then how you promote it, okay? But it doesn't always have to have a price tag on it, because when you're building know, like, and trust, okay, it's going to be important. That is important. It's going to be an offer can be free, an offer to sign up for something, an offer to get on the phone with you, okay? So I hope this is helpful. Let me read what you wrote, Taylor. So many people bombard you with emails that only want you to buy something, which is a turnoff. That can be true. That can be true. And you know what? When we tend to, this is interesting. We tend to, if being sold to a certain way bothers us, we tend to shy away from sales altogether. Okay? So think about that. So if you have had a bad experience and you just hate certain strategies and certain styles of selling, then you will have like a belief system kind of rooted in that. And so what I'm telling you to do is going to help alleviate that. And it actually should alleviate it altogether. If you start being seen as a giver and you feel like you're giving and you're helping and you're focusing on that and serving, that should take a lot of the pressure away. Okay, and it does, and that's from both sides, right? I've been here for 10 minutes. You wrote that, 10 minutes ago probably. I think it's been about 20 minutes now. But the great thing about the Facebook Lives is that this is gonna stay. People aren't always gonna see this live, okay? But if I start doing this at 4 o'clock, more people will show up. And I haven't yet sent emails to my list because I haven't completely decided, what time is best, the best time of day for me and so forth. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing this every Tuesday, call it Tech Tuesday. So if you wanna send me a message, ask me, or at least tell me what some of your struggles are, and ask me if there's a certain topic, whether it be a platform, a social media platform, whether it be WordPress, a lead page, copywriting, anything like that. These are all things that I teach in my program, and I'd be happy to answer any questions, okay? If you went to coachmecrystal.com, you would see my calendar, and that's probably one of the best ways to get in touch is to actually schedule it, and then you'll get a reminder, and then we can go from there. And then you can share with me in detail what's been going on, where you're at, where you'd like to be, and exactly what you're struggling with. And just so my point here is, if you've ever heard of Mercury retrograde, my clients and I have been joking about it recently. If you've ever heard of it, I think it's for real. I think it is a for real thing, and it happens to be, we won't get into the astrological term for it, but it's a time, like a 3-week period of time throughout the year, 3 or 4 different times a year, that things tend to go wonky. So with that being said, whether you believe that or not, with that being said, know that sometimes there may be something, whether it be our energy or the energy from the outside, that gets us even more frustrated than usual, okay? But don't give up. There are answers to your technical problems that have you stumped, that have you feeling insecure about it, that have you feeling intimidated so that you don't take the first steps. There are answers, okay? And they're probably going to alleviate all of it. Getting the right virtual assistant is important too, because I've known people that have spent years trying to learn and do things themselves, and that's unnecessary. Okay, so that's not what I'm referring to, of staying in that place where you're trying to become a technician when you don't have it in you and you really, really hate it. But some of the simple things that I've shared with you on this video, I think just about anybody can do these days, because nowadays they've made things so user-friendly that there's no reason why you can't. Okay, message me if you have any questions. Go to 10simpletools.com and get a quick little 2-page ebook, a report on 10 tools that I use to basically build a list, what I use pretty much every day for organization. Some of them are productivity tips, or tools rather, and then some of them are just ways to get your content out there and resources. Okay, I hope you find it helpful. And like I said, message me if you have any more questions, or if you'd like me to discuss a new techie problem that you have next Tuesday. Okay, bye. Have a great day. Bye, Taylor.